Any chance of expanding on your sound? As you said, you came from a sort of full band and went down to the acoustic sort of version of it.
Yes, no, because I have a band. No, I have a band called Coco on the side.
Yes.
But she was doing her thing at the time.
I was solo, doing solo stuff, and then me and Mike met, and we decided to, combine everything and do it together.
I wanted to get back in the original thing, which I'd been doing with a band. I had a 3-piece band called Coco, and then I sort of dragged them into this and said, "Listen, when we get the songs down, will you just learn them?" And so they're looking good for that.
Yeah,
they're great players, so it's
Yeah,
easy for
they're
them,
awesome
and
players, yeah.
their feel is cool, and they pick up the vibe and the mood and the atmosphere real quick. So it'll be cool with them. But it's just that thing of like venues in this country, can they afford a 4-piece band? And can we all get paid? And if they're going to put 4 bands on, you're looking at 16 people to get paid, or 20 on a door deal of 30 rand a head or something, it's like so. But if the songs are good enough, they'll stand up. You know that. They'll stand up if one person plays it. You've seen Pearl Jam do that. They like come on just the two of them live, and they do a couple of covers. I'm like, just the songs are good.
But
They're good songs.
Coupled with something else, I find nowadays, music's almost going the way art did, and I'm talking about paintings and that sort of thing. At one stage back in the day, you had to be a Vincent van Gogh or someone to create a masterpiece.
Yes.
Andy Warhol came along and painted a can of beans, and everyone sort of thought, well, I could be an artist, and so they were, and the same sort of things happening with bands, and especially guys like you've got such that sort of dinner atmosphere, and that's not to say you must be a band that plays in the corner of some sort of restaurant in Johannesburg, but maybe the show could be bigger than the music and bigger than the food. You know what I mean?
It could, but again, you're talking about venues that can accommodate that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like venues that got a stage built enough to
So
put
then
on
is-
some kind of lighting rig or some kind of.
Is it not ideal for
Cape
us
Town
to
would
go
be
about
ideal
it
for you
ourselves
guys.
then?
If you have the money, we'll take it, because while we're
But if
poor and
there's 10 of
starving.
us, look, I'm also trying noodles and wheat bix as much as you guys are.
So you're doing the 2-minute noodles, are you? We'll join you later.
This is music equipment.
Yeah.
My car's worth less. But
My car's worth less than this microphone, and it's brand new.
Together, 100 rand can go a long way amongst 30 people. 30 people banded together. But so that's our goal. We really appreciate you guys coming in and chatting to us. It's our deepest sort of passion to find out what's out there, in terms of South Africa. America did it ages ago with the blues rock revolution. Actually, the government sent out people to record.
Yeah.
And out of it came, House of the Rising Sun, songs like these. Hopefully the next is yours.
Hopefully. If you can find something homegrown enough, I think. Because we've all grown up in this country listening to everything from overseas.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who it was that we've heard that's made it big in this country. They sound like something. Maybe Jaluka was the first original thing, truly South African original thing that I heard when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And they've been around a few years already.
Yeah.
And I think Johnny Clegg, he's been there 40 years. So that's that. It's owned. It's definitely South African. It doesn't sound American. It doesn't sound French.
Yeah.
It's something. So they were like the first at that. And I think along the way, since that 90s explosion thing, where all the original bands came out of the woodwork, I think the Nude Girls and everybody, that was a cool time. Because even though a lot of those bands sounded like overseas bands, because that's the only influences they had.
Yes.
Yeah, we weren't able to go around and look at bands. I think if you live in New York,
You couldn't reinvent rock and roll.
No. Grunge was already there, and everybody
sure.
climbed on that bandwagon here because we hadn't invented a musical culture of our own.
Yes, sure.
And don't get me wrong, some of the black people here had always had that.
Mango
because-
Groove.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
But Paul Simon did it with the Grace album, came here and took it
Yeah.
and made it his own with all local
Yeah, sure.
black musicians from this country back in 1986. So if he could do it, I couldn't figure out why we couldn't, if we wouldn't do the ethnic thing. But we didn't have rock bands of our own to go and watch and get inspired from, because they were all playing covers, and I know because I was one of them, playing covers for years to get paid. Everyone was happy with that, but we never had our own culture. Now it's 15, 16 years later, And there is certainly a South African sound, I think, that's there that belongs to us.
Yes.
With overseas bands don't sound like we do for a change, which is
Yes,
quite
yeah,
cool.
sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you can get into that market and compete on that level, that's quite cool, I think.
On that note, who would you say has been your influences, throughout your music career and now in creating this album?
Jeez, I don't know.
So
you
many.
can speak, but I've had so many.
So, I mean, there's so many.
What CD's in your car at the moment?
What's
I think it's us, actually. I'll tell you what's in our car right now, but this is just like it's a 1970.
No, we had Bob Dylan in the car.
Yeah, it's a 1971 Bob Dylan acoustic album, which I never heard before till recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of all the early stuff he did before he sort of got big, so
Okay, awesome.
just listen to that. But
Yeah, but I mean, it's from, early days, I used to listen to punk music. Like the Dead Kennedys and Alien Sex Fiend and stuff like that. And then Radiohead was huge for me. Enormous band. I mean, I loved them so much. Nowadays, I love the Muse. But I also like acoustic artists, I like Missy Higgins. I think she's awesome.
Yeah.
Even like Jason Mraz, I think he's got a great thing going. So it's really a wide spectrum of stuff.
Sure.
I don't believe that. I think that there's good and bad in every genre of
Yes,
music.
sure.
So yeah, so I try to listen to as much of everything as I can and keep an open mind.
yeah.
anything that reaches you is what you
Yeah,
listen
sure.
to. Right?
Definitely, yeah.
I was a
Anything can be
metalhead
good.
when I started because I was in a metal band when I was young. So I was like 20 or 21, and that's all I could really hear. But as I got older, your ears start going, hello, that's cool and this is cool. So I've got a huge thing,
Wide range.
including Britney Spears. I really
Nice.
do. I really do, because I think, I don't know about Hit Me Baby and all that stuff, and lyrically it's a lot of corn. But she later did an album called Piece of Me, which I thought was fantastic. It's like a sort of experimental thing she did. She wrote it
Yeah,
herself.
Yeah, yeah,
And it was 10 years later, but that's her, and there's something happening there. Plus, I love the tone of her voice. But her producer, Max Martin, that did the over, he's a genius, that guy. He's done a
Yeah.
lot of big bands, but it's his input, I think, that gives her a sound.
Definitely made her a
She
star.
But
actually-
his writing is just as good as
Usually
anybody
important
else's. It's only the
producers.
feel of it that maybe you're not happy with because it's not your thing.
Yeah,
But I can definitely hear what he's put in there. He gave her a rock sound without using a guitar. I mean, he's quite a clever guy. So the people behind the scenes, they're sharp.
So important, yeah.
Whoever is writing
Yes,
Lady
sure.
Gaga's stuff, and you're talking about it now.
Yeah.
Who's writing that stuff?
Well, there's a chap there, I saw an article not too long back, a guy who's, any hit song you've ever heard, he's probably written it. Literally, this guy's written everyone from Cher to Celine Dion to Britney Spears to Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
Keisha, across the board.
Yeah.
They say he's responsible for something like 50% of the popular music out there.
Wow. Quite a thing, yeah, sure.
And Cara Delgado, she was one of the Idols judges.
Yeah,
X
yeah.
Factor.
Yeah.
God, she's written, 1,000 songs
Yeah.
for all those
Yeah.
from Mariah Carey and Whitney and.
But
So-
sometimes I wonder, isn't that the thing that's wrong with the music industry?
Yeah,
Because
of course
there's-
it is.
it just sort
100%.
of makes everything the same.
It does. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, you can't very well say this is the norm and this is what all people like. So you have to select one person who does one thing a certain way, and you say that's the norm and that's what everyone likes, and people will accept it because there's no other option.
Yeah, exactly. They're
You know what I mean?
basically told
Yeah.
what they should listen to and what
Plus,
they shouldn't.
the biggest radio stations are feeding the public what they're feeding.
Yeah,
them.
that's
So
it.
exactly.
yeah.
They're feeding them this
And
stuff
it's
'cause
marketing
it's-
machines.
it's,
Unless they're tuning into this particular station, they
Yes.
won't know what else
Well,
is
that's
there.
why we're doing this.
Yeah, I know. That's the whole point of it. So,
So I can say, shit, dick bag.
say it again. I was kidding. So that's all fun and games. I like the way it's gone now, where people can listen to a lot of stuff more than they used to just by tuning into our sister station, as they call it.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Steve Hopmay's latest hit. This one's going up the charts. It's going nowhere. No, I'm kidding.
So where
Sorry,
can we
Steve.
catch you guys? Social media wise. Where
Well,
can we buy your music? Where can we contact you?
Where can we stalk you?
You can stalk us. There's a song on YouTube. You can tell them.
yeah, we've got a YouTube little YouTube video. It's under Rainmaker.
Okay.
It's called Torn Down. It's like a really acoustic. It's quite. We kind of really kept that one really organic. Although Craig put some cool synth stuff in the back, which makes it really dark and lacquer. And then on Reverb Nation, we've also Rainmaker. It was originally actually called Tina Delicavius Music, and I changed it when me and Mike got together and formed Rainmaker. So it's under one of those two, either Rainmaker or Tina Delicavius Music, and you'll see there's a couple there. They're getting more as the weeks go by. They're getting more and more.
Cool.
Yeah, and then playing wise, Kali, I don't know what's our next gig. I think it's more than likely a Tans one's coming.
I don't think
Tans
we're ever
one
playing
coming.
again. We just done a whole few in a row, so now I can't.
Yeah, we've done quite a few.
Well, there's a Facebook page too.
Yes,
and that'll
which
tell
is
you.
Rainmaker.
That'll tell you. Rainmaker
Yeah.
on Facebook. Is that what you just look
Yeah,
at?
I changed
Rainmaker?
it to Rainmaker, yeah. Or otherwise just look for Tina Delicavius, and then it's the music page, which is attached to my...
And then it'll
my
show you
Facebook
what the
page.
next lineup is. I think there's some Sundays and Saturday afternoons and things like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So my favorite part of the show, dirty joke time.
Oh.
What is your best dirty joke that you guys have for us?
Or any joke.
I'll leave this to Mike because he's better at telling jokes than me.
God, you're so late on me, man. This guy walks into a bar. No,
Doof.
dirty joke. I heard one the other day.
Need a really dirty one.
It's the
Come
Wild
on,
West,
dig deep.
right? It's the Wild West. A guy walks in with a fully loaded a 9mm with a full magazine of bullets,
Yeah.
plus 2 more magazines strapped to his belt. And he walks into a pub and he says, "I'm looking for the guy who screwed my girlfriend." And the guy shouts out, "You're going to need a whole lot more ammo than that." So it's not that bad, eh? It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Awesome.
Cool, thanks for coming to the show. Yeah, thank
No,
you
thank you.
Thank
guys.
you for having us. Yeah.